Hello, hello, hello everyone. Welcome to game number 1 between Running Wild and Phoenix Rising Zircon. We have a lot of bans. We did go ahead and ban out Cursed Hollow, Braxis Holdout, Alterac Pass, and Infernal Shrines. We are going to be going to Dragonshire at the request of Running Wild. That does mean that Phoenix Rising Zircon will have first pick and first ban. We're in the draft already, so here we go. One of the absolute best intros that you've ever seen. You guys are super impressed. Don't even lie. You know that you're just... when I want to, I talk like at 1 billion miles per hour, and that is wonderful. That is 100% what you look for in life. Oh, looks like I forgot to save. I'd like to look at the actual thing. I forgot to save the thing after I picked the Dragonshire. But you can see the bans, and that's what's important. Oh no, I saved it. I just didn't say which team picked it, so the thing was like, I don't know what to do. But as I said, if you listen, if you had your ears on, this is going to be at the pick of Running Wild. So we do have the first ban coming out of Phoenix Rising Zircon. They are spinning the clock a little bit, wanting to talk about all the various tactics. I very much doubt they're actually deciding who to ban. They're just talking about a lot of other contingencies. So of course they didn't know they were going to this map. I like Dragonshire. Dragonshire is one of the maps where you really have to be able to work as a theoretical unit and not just run around as a 4-man. They do go and get rid of Lucio first. They want to make sure their opponents, A, do not have that annoying high 5 to break all of their fun combos, and B, do not have the ability to accelerate their team around the map and just lock down to destroy people in team fights. Lucio is the big old, nope, you're not getting away. We have the Stukov being the counter ban on the side of Running Wild. Does not want the... a lot of combos depend on getting someone into a position and then not letting them use abilities to protect themselves. So the Stitches or the Diablo or the Johanna yank back. Even Alterac, although Alterac is incredibly really hard to actually time that with. Well, a little bit of a healer show coming out. We have Brightwing being banned out as well. Like, no, both teams are like, okay, you're definitely using your BT healers. It does look like the bluff has been called. Running Wild says we cannot ban any more healers. We've only got 2 left that we like to play. I don't think that's actually true, but if we ban one of them and you take the other, we are going to be screwed. That is the question. How much will we prioritize healers now that 3 of them have been banned out? No Lucio, no Stukov, no Brightwing. Only healers from Diablo are left. That's not actually true, but we have had 4 of the, or 3 of the 4 main ones. But no, we do have Sylvanas being taken early by Psycho. Sylvanas definitely the you can't walk away from me. Don't you walk away from me! I'll take your whole damn base if you leave me unattended for like 5 seconds. So we do go to have Mr. Executive getting the Anduin. Just want to get that early because of how many were banned out. Greymane going to be the second one, being picked up by good Lord C10 C1 Overhaul? Over HD1? I'm just going to say C10 because that is a weird and difficult name to say, and I don't like difficult things. But Greymane coming in, definitely a massive source. Camp clear, damage in the team fight. Greymane kind of does everything. He lifts. We do have Dahaka, the offlaner, being taken in by Lowlines, and then Garrosh. Definitely the, you know what, not quite as out of positioning as Stitches, but definitely, it is interesting though, because Garrosh does have a bit of a difficult time stepping up. And they already banned out the Lucio. Lucio goes very, very well with Garrosh. The little speed boost to be able to just make him surge forward. So I was going to wonder, are we going to see another healer banned out? And indeed we do. We now have 6 healers off the map. Only like 7 left to pick from on the side of Phoenix Rising. No Uther, no Stukov, no Lucio, no Brightwing, and no Anduin. I guess that's 5. I can do math. Don't judge me, guys. Did you go and ban out the Stitches? I was gonna laugh if they banned out, just like, you know what, we just like banning out healers. We know you've already got one, but whatever. Whatever. We do go to have Stitches being banned out. That does kind of prevent them from being able to pull you into the stun of Anduin and just let Greymane eat your face off. They say, we have the engage, put you out of position tank, you don't get one. So they're going to go with Anubarak, the stun for Daze tank, and then Sonya going into the offlane against Dahaka. That is a matchup I feel like Sonya wins, but Dahaka's globalness and the ability that he can heal so well. Dahaka doesn't have to be able to kill Sonya, although that's actually less true on this map. On Dragonshire, being able to actually push your opponent off the point is important. Though that said, I will say that there are bushes very near the objective, so Dahaka does have a very beneficial retreat path.
Anna checking in.
Anna is checking in. Oh, that's interesting. So they are going to go with Anna as their healer. So many healers were banned out, and they're going to go with Anna is definitely more of a support healer, not a healy healer, if that makes sense. So this could be an opportunity for Running Wild to, well, run wild. But of course, Anna can put you to sleep, and there is a lot of damage output between that Psycho and that Zeratul. Most of it coming from Zeratul. The Sylvanas does do a lot of damage in a short period of time, but Zeratul can 100 to 0 certain characters. And going into Gul'dan is one of the characters that doesn't have to worry about Zeratul 100 to 0ing him. So this Zeratul is going to pop off, but if they can shut down the Zeratul, if they can manage to take him out, he's going to come down a lot to Falone Grits. So we'll have to see what happens. Look forward to it. We're going into the game right now, and we'll find out what happens. Predictions are, of course, up. If you want to support one of these teams, if you think one of them won the draft, go ahead and put your points where your mouth is. We'll go ahead and see whether you guys are future psychics and know exactly what's going to happen, or if you'll be cruelly denied and have to give your points over to the opponent. But getting into the game right now, we do have on the Cyan side of the battlefield, representing Running Wild, we have Kairu on the Gul'dan, Falone Grits playing that Anubarak, Elixia is on the Sonya, Mr. Executive playing that The Lad, Anduin, and C10 is coming in on Grey Daddy. On the other side of the battlefield, we do go ahead and have Storm in the Nexus division, playing Garage. Solian is playing the Zeratul. Psycho jumping around on that there Sylvanas. Lowlands running around on Dahaka, quite literally, running around like just running wild. And then we do have Cheekies on the Ana checking in. I do like Ana's mount, and like just look at this coordination on Cheekies. Definitely gets the the Fashionista award from Raka. A bit of initial engage. We do have a 5-on-5. Solian jumping back and forth. There was a miss, but there is a double stun. But immediate loop onto the Garage. A lot of damage coming into Dahaka. Dahaka just have to burrow to avoid some of it. Storm did sneak around, but taking a lot of damage. There is the swipey swipe from C10. Meanwhile, Dahaka is in the top lane. We have not had a rotation up there yet, so Dahaka is just getting free essence, free experience. Nom 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 nom. But Sonya's coming in. Does wisely avoid the tongue. Sonya is not interested in that. Don't think too much into that. About even experience between our two teams. Look at our level 1 talents. We do have a couple of questing ones. We do go ahead and have Chaotic Energy coming out the Gul'dan, already 20% complete. We do go ahead and have Warbringer, also 20% complete, coming out the Garage. Enhanced Agility and Shadow Hunter. So a lot of scaling coming out of the side of Phoenix Rising, but they're doing a decent job stacking it so far. Very early pickup from C10. Grammy going out there. Remember how I said he was Captain Camp? Well, he is Captain Camping. Keep in mind, this is Heroes of the Storm. Camping is not a bad thing. If you play first-person shooters, sometimes you need a flame for camping, but Heroes of the Storm is absolutely okay, and in fact encouraged. Zircon answering with mercenaries on their own side, but meanwhile it does look like we're going to have a rotation from Kairu coming down here. It looks like they're going to be going into bottom camp, winning the mercenary battle, at least for the time being, because their opponents are not here. A little bit behind in terms of picking that up. Meanwhile, a very small experience edge coming out of Running Wild because we did have the middle lane picked up. Zircon looks like they're moving down to get that experience right now. Storm is moving down here. There is a nice stun and not going to be able to pick this up. Double pickup, but no one is currently in the middle in order to become a dragon. Dragon Wild. Somebody scouts out this, but I wish I knew how to say that. I'm gonna say Elixia, but I may not be incorrect. But yeah, realizes that Zircon's off the map, realizes they're probably looking around, and then we do have Dahaka taking the top. But the big issue is down here. The front wall is gone. Solian does do a little bit of damage, but we have a root on Storm, a lot of damage coming in. Storm trying to back off. Kairu looking for more damage. We do actually have the avoidance of corruption by Storm, but not so much by Solian and Cheekies. There's the pull out on Anduin. Its pull out game is strong, and Phalanx going to survive for right now. Not so much Zirtle. We do go have the claws go in and nash the net. It's not Nethrazim, it's I forget the name of the Dark Templar. Nerazim? The experience advantage coming out of Running Wild has actually increased to a full level at this point. They're coming down. Going to go ahead and use their massive Fell Fire in order to just weaken this lane right as they walk up. Taka is moving up to secure the top one. Here we have Polan Chris moving up, trying to get this done. We still have about a half-level lead on the side of Running Wild. Looking at our questing talents, we do have Chaotic Energy almost done, 12 or 15. Can't talk right now. We have Unstoppable coming out of the garage. Garage is trying to get away. Garage is trying to survive. There is the healing penalty coming out of the Ana. But you know what? Right now, Running Wild was not trying to heal. They were trying to kill, but Storm will make it out. So Kairu and Mr. Injected going to go ahead and pick out some more giants. Siege giants will move down this lane. And we do have the dragon ready to be picked up, as this is grabbed by Sonya. Vulcans may be in a little bit of trouble. Does go ahead and burrow out of there. Nope, they're not going to commit to it. Zirtle comes in from below, barely avoids the engaged by Grits. I forgot to talk for a second, but you know what? That's okay. I'm not required to talk. You can't make me.
The fire comes for you.
Sonya is a dragon. Sonya is a dragon. And it does look like with all the damage they've done to the front wall, and with this being a 5-minute dragon, they say, no, don't go down to the bottom lane. Even though the bottom lane is off in the kill lane, we would rather go ahead and get the experience from the towers, because it's very unlikely we'll actually get the full fort, even with the dragon. That does push them into level 10s, but their opponents are right there next to them. Horrify coming out as his Cocoon, Leap, Light Bomb, and go for the throat. And yep, Dragon is going to go ahead and get pushed back. Lots of stacks on that. I almost wonder if pushing mid would have been more effective, because the entire enemy team was just waiting for them to come bottom, and I think they may have gotten a little bit more value. Not that they would have, they would have just rotated up, obviously, but you at least would have moved them out of their ensconced position. Nice stun coming out, but there is the blink, throw away, and there is a sleep. Taunt comes out on the Anubrat, but that is Anubrat. There is a pullout coming onto C10. Low lines in the back line. Just have to burrow, but very, very, very slow pull. We do have Storm going to get out there. There is the Entomb onto the garage, and a Horrify coming out. No, Unstoppable does prevent that. And there's a throw in the pool, and Grizz may be in trouble. We do have the Bug getting squished. Big old boot of garage came down and just flattened Anubrat. they will now repay the favor and take the bottom contested mercenary camp as their opponents go ahead and take their own. Roughly 11 at all. Looking at also the other side, we do go and have Warlord's Challenge, which we saw use Isolation, Mind Control, Might of the, oh, there we go, Nerazim. I was right, it's not Netherzim. And then we do have Eye of Horus. Once again, Sylvanas going to come in and do Sylvanas things, shut down these towers, and not an immediate pickup. It does look like they're actually going in to try and take their opponent's bruiser camp. Surprisingly enough, doing a lot of pressure to the top lane. The top lane is not the win lane. I'm not sure that was actually worth the delay. Because they still don't have all of their people here to defend. Their wall is down. They've lost as much on bottom lane as they actually got with the mid from the dragon. It does look like they are going to push Phoenix Rising Zircon out of here. Meanwhile, up top, Dahake is trying to deal with this. Sonya does not want to overcommit right now, and she does get the entire front wall.
Control both shrines, and the Dragon Knight's power is yours.
There's a top along the garage. Nice throw in order to keep everyone out. Does barely not catch that. We have Zircon coming in from behind. Nice move on Zircon. There is the Lokins. Kyrie taking a lot of damage, is trying to suck her way to victory. I did not think about how that would sound. My apologies. Nice double kill coming out of Phoenix Rising. With disadvantage, they do not look at the Dragon Knight. They're not trying to get that. They haven't taken enough, but they do go and get the bottom port. And Psycho is not stopping. Psycho is moving forward. Still have a lot of people up top, so they are not able to properly defend this. And Mind Control does land on C10. C10 is immediately taunted, and there is... Boom goes the dynamite. Actually, no, Hawk's not in this game, but boom goes the combo. Just keeps C10 in place forever, and we do have Greymane no longer being alive. They call him Grey Daddy, but I'm pretty sure that Phoenix Rising just went back and said, well, go be a family man. That's a Gal reference. If you knew that, I'm proud of you. Alright, there is the stun, but Anubis fully pushed completely out of position, is pulled out by Anduin. Warlord's Challenge is off cooldown, but not so much the Mind Control. Not until 20 when it has almost no cooldown. But there is a great series of stuns, and Kairu goes down. Gul'dan has met his fate, just like in whatever freaking expansion that was. Heck, what am I talking about? Gul'dan's met his fate, just like in Tides of Darkness. Reign of Chaos, whatever game that was. I know my lore. We are at 6 kills versus 1 in favor of Phoenix Rising.
The Dragon Knight shall reduce you to cinder.
Zircon gets into the Dragon Knight because Zircon is one of the easiest ones to escape once it does go down, and is going to immediately start moving towards the bottom lane. Looking to go ahead and get this cleared out so we can push them, all of them. Here goes the boot, but we got the Red Knight just taking a huge amount of damage. The rest of the team is not nearby. Here comes Storm walking in. Psycho and Shiki's in the back line.
Power is yours no longer.
They go picked up. We do have about a 1-level lead on the side of Phoenix Rising. They are up, not up a talent tier though. And now this is where Zircon just starts to become impossible. Sonya gets picked off, coming rotation. There is the mind control, but there is the jump out for the Grey Mane. A lot of damage. There is a turnaround coming in. Moblins may be in a little bit of trouble. Let's go ahead and burrow. A lot of aggression coming through, but they do not have the critical Sonya in order to push this down. I forgot who died. Don't judge me. So much unstoppable coming out. That's the thing. Like we have an early advantage for running wild, but they just are having a hard time confirming these kills.
Another chance to prove yourself worthy. Do not squander.
So we are in an interesting moment right here where we completely abandon getting experience. This, I think, may be a misplay for running wild because they need to catch up. They are a full level down. And yeah, I get... Oh, this is so...
Become the dragon.
Surprisingly, we still are waiting for Warbreaker to fully finish. All the other questing tasks for level 1 have completed. Yep, Eye of Horus. I haven't actually noticed it being used yet. Although granted, it may have just been used and I'm dumb. I remember when Eye of Horus was actually banned. I remember. Does look like Zeratul is about to become a Dragon Knight. Maybe? Yeah, nope.
Flame cleanses all.
I love how Sonya's like, I want to get out of here, and Dragon Knight's like, I'll help you. Meanwhile down here, it does look like a lot. We do have Cheekies being taken out. They're trying to get that into there. The Grey Mane is trying to stay up. There's a stun up to the Haka. Grey Mane is walking right into the Dragon Knight, and Dragon Knight says, nope. I have an axe, I know how to use it. Sylvanas also goes in and gets Gul'dan at the back line. Anduin looks like he is in a good tick of trouble. Mr. Executive is not going to be executizing very much. There's the throw. Executive really wants this, but no, it is not going to happen for him. Meanwhile, the Dragon Knight is moving forward. Did go ahead and punt a cockroach. Have you guys ever punted a cockroach? It does not go very well.
Red team has destroyed the fort.
Sylvanas is not here, though she couldn't have shut down the core anyway, so it ends up not really mattering. We are about 10 seconds away from everyone but Anduin coming back. I don't know if they are able to end just yet, but they're certainly going to try. They've gotten through shields. They're doing actual real damage to the core. Here goes ahead, the boulders come down. The Dragon Knight is gone. There is the leap. Leap goes ahead and honestly doesn't do all that much. But here we have Solarian is going to go ahead and get chunked down. The core finished them off. We do go ahead and have Psycho trying to get this down. The core is at 30%. Psycho bounces back and forth. Anduin is back in the fight, but cannot heal the core. He's not allowed. And we are at 27% as we have a full retreat coming out of Phoenix Rising. Level 20s have been picked up by the PR team. We do go ahead and have Titanic Might on the Garage, Contagion, the Dark Lady's Call, Shadow Stride, and Deadeye. I actually had to stop and read what Deadeye did because I do not know. I do not recognize Eye of Horus enough.
Blue team has destroyed a fort.
All right, they are going in. They say we've got 25 seconds. Let's go ahead and do what damage we can. I do not think they have enough time to actually get this keep, but already they've evened things out and are getting catapult pressure. Their opponents are not respecting this. They don't think they're actually crazy enough to do this, and they are wrong. There's nothing crazier than running wild, ladies and gentlemen. They're going in. They're trying to get level 20 off of this, and they will get it. Not 20, but they will get the keep. Level 20 is just around the corner, and they are falling back at this point as Sylvanas comes back.
Prepare yourselves.
They're just like, you know what? We are landscapers at this point.
Team has
We are rebaiting this map, and they've actually done more structure damage than their opponents. They went from having nothing down to 3 forts down. Here's Storm coming in. Solern is the bottom, fighting with Elixia. There is the Eye coming out, going in and getting shots done, but the Sea Giants are out. They are helping out. They're throwing boulders in. Psycho looks not very healthy. Neither is Cheekbones. There is a kill onto Anduin, but a counter kill onto the Zeratul. They are looking for this. There is the Spear coming in. Storm is looking not too healthy. There is the mind control to move forward, but you know what? They don't care about the mind control. They want to move forward. They are eager for this fight. Psycho's right in the middle of everyone, but Greymane goes down, as does the Garage. We are still at 2 for 2. Lollins does go ahead, is trying to get out. Gets pulled back for just a second. Burrows down. Burrows to safety. There is the stun onto Cheekies. Does manage to avoid that. There is the Dark Lady's call. And they do have to back off. Gul'dan and Sonya cannot push into core as much as they really want to. Sorry, I just have to like catch my breath for a second. Alright, Elixir goes and clears this out. Not significant damage done to the top. Meanwhile, we do have a Dahaka trying to channel. Kairu is not going to let this happen. Kairu says, my fell flames say go away. Unfortunately, mind control says Kairu does not go away. Kairu goes back to the hall. Never mind, Anduin, you're a god? Okay, I probably shouldn't say a god. That's a little bit of overstatement. It's just his D. But still, very, very good job. Here is Dahaka. Dahaka trying to move in. They backs off, does not want to run to the entire enemy team. They realize this is their chance to end the game. Zeratul in the cocoon. They really want to get this Dragon Knight down. However, Ana does take out a new Brock. Continue to fight. Mr. Executive goes down. Greymane goes down. This is the end of the game. I will guarantee it. If it isn't, then what are you doing, Phoenix Rising? Sorry, people are DMing me. I just had to be snarky. They were like, okay, how do I fix this? I'm like, well, step 1, wait for me not to be in the middle of a cast. So we do go ahead and have at the end of the game. I apologize for not, but really, honestly, at the end of the game, I don't know that I really needed to cast it. They got the 4-man. Did you really need to be like, they're going up to the core, they're doing damage, the shields are gone? Like, I kind of feel like all of you are smart enough to have known that was happening. Regardless, though, looking at stats, I don't really like to compare stats straight up. Like, obviously, oh! Shut my mouth? So, first of all, we do go ahead and have... Remember how I said Ana is more of a support healer and not necessarily a healer? Well, Cheekies comes out and says, shut the heck up, Raka, you're dumb. Because it does come out and outhills the Anduin. Hello? Looking at the damage, we do a Psycho leading the way. Psycho leading the way. Greymane comes in second with 58,000, and then Kairu on the Gul'dan with 51,000. In terms of that ever-important soak, we do have Lowlands out-soaking the Sonya by a little bit, so he did rotate down for team fights a little bit more, so that makes sense. But there we go. We'll go ahead and get into game number 2. First of all, before I go there, let me go ahead and pay out points, or at least I would be paying out points, but literally none of you were believers. None of you bet points onto Phoenix Rising. So instead of just having all the points bet on Running Wild go into the ether, I'm just going to cancel the bets, because honestly, it doesn't do me any good to have the points go away. I have cool things to spend them on. Boop. See ya for game number 2 in just a second, guys. we are back for game number 2. First of all, we do have Phoenix Rising making a statement. We all know that Towers of Doom is the best map to end an epic series, and so by picking it here, Phoenix Rising is saying this is going to be the last game of the series. We are winning right here and right now. We'll have to see whether or not that ends up being true. But we are going to be going into it. Obviously, this is a map where you don't necessarily, I don't necessarily see the same like emphasis on Sylvanas crushing everything down. You kind of want more priority on the global heroes. So Brightwing and Dahaka, although granted one was banned and one was in the last game, so maybe we will see very, very similar drafts. Double soaking is incredibly important, so Sonya may come back. Actually, both Sonya and Dahaka can double soak, so you know what? Never mind. I keep making points, and then when I consider the end of my point, I'm like, you know what? I don't know what I'm talking about. But you know what? That's okay. I'm not required to. So there we go. We're going to go into the game in just a little bit. Bum, bum, bum. Just a little bit. Honestly, that was an incredibly close game. I do feel like I feel like the PRZ actually like won the draft because man, it was very, 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 very difficult for Running Wild to be able to confirm kills, even with Greymane. So they were able to at the end when they kind of started to get into good positions, but it took too long for that to come online. Hello everyone, I did take my gloves off. I hope you don't mind. If you do mind, well, deal with it. It's my hands. Ah! Well, that was less fun. Oh, it looks like actually I am incorrect. I guess this map was actually, it looks like they actually picked map pick, and this map was actually chosen by Running Wild. So I guess all my snarkiness about who picked it no longer actually counts. My bad, my bad. Let's go ahead and stick here for just a second. Find out what we can find out.
Towers of Doom.
I had to gesture again. It's required. It's in my contract. Waiting for players to come in. Still waiting for players to come in. So I do have to wonder, based on what we saw last time, I would not be surprised if the Zeratul got banned out. That Zeratul seemed incredibly effective. And just, if CCL has taught me anything, it's that if one of your opposing players is really good at Zeratul, you just ban that S out. You don't try and play around Zeratul, you just get rid of them. Zeratul is oppressive. Oppressive and impressive. That reminds me, old joke I heard, but it made me laugh. So, if you're a boss and you tell one of your employees to do something and he just kind of shrugs and doesn't do it, he is both being insolent and indolent at the same time. So it's really cool to like know that. I like words. I'm a very, very big word person. Also, thank you for that follow, everyone that's followed. I do have follow alerts turned off, both because they are A, super distracting during a cast, and B, hate raids much. So, while I do appreciate you all, we have Junkrat being the first band coming out of Running Wild. Okay, no, I was right. This was the map pick on the side of Phoenix Rising. They just ended up changing it, so they also got first pick, and they were like, yep, we just want all the things. Continue to ban out the Brightwing. That's extra good on this map because, as I said, there is an extra emphasis on globals. Now, will we see the Zera ban? Zera, 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 tool, Zera, tool, Zera, tool. Will we see you be banned? Zera, Zera, tool. Hey! They're thinking about it. They're actually probably not. They're probably talking about completely unrelated stuff and just have it hovered. No, they do actually still go with Stook. Going to let the Zeratul through unless one of them take it, but as far as I know, none of them play Zeratul. I could very easily be wrong about that, though. I've been wrong before. I know. You're surprised. You're amazed. I'm surprised as well. just happens. You can't explain it. Alright, and interesting to ban the Anubarak. I don't feel like the Anubarak was that successful, but obviously they disagree, and they saw it better than I did, because I was kind of everywhere and looking at everything. So we do have Kairu taking the Sylvanas first and foremost. The one hero I said may not be as high a priority, and it gets first picked. I'm really good at casting, you guys. Cheekies does take the Anduin, so they cannot go over to Mr. Executive, and Storm will go in and get the Stitches. So Sylvanas and Stitches kind of typically play a similar role, but Stitches can do it for level 1. Although Sylvanas also can go with the arrow.
Change is upon us.
Man, we're almost having a reverse draft so far. Anduin betrays running wild, but Sylvanas and Dahaka come over.
I serve.
So remember I said we almost have reverse drafts? Honestly, is running wild just... Let me just check real quick. Did they actually change sides on me? They did not. But my gosh, all three characters coming up. Bobby, you shut your mouth. I'm good. I think I'm getting better. I think I'm getting more and more entertaining every day. But best caster, you are out of your mind. Diablo is going to be banned out because they have not taken a tank yet. On the other side, they still haven't taken the offlaner. So who does Dahaka not want to deal with? Is it going to be Malthiel with his absolutely insane soak? Is it going to be Zul with his additional pressure from the skeletons? Is it going to be Sonya to make sure that they can't draft your comp from last time? It is going to be Sonya. I'm actually surprised. I kind of threw that one in because I ran out of stuff to talk about. I don't feel like Sonya may be the correct choice. I do feel like some of the other ones are actually even better than Sonya. Because here's the thing about double soakers in this map. You don't really interact with your opponent hardly at all. Because you're just going lane to lane continuously. You're like a little, like, bouncer. But not the buff kind of bouncer, the other kind of bouncer. There we have Zul. It's almost like I called this. And once again, Greymane. So far, the only actually drafted hero that is different is Zul. Every other hero is from the game before, but was on the opposite team. I feel like we're basically playing Freaky Friday, the game. Wake up and suddenly you're living the opposite life than you expected.
Our world is worth fighting for.
Okay, that's a difference. So that does beg the question. Why did you not want to go Ana? Ana was available, Mr. Executive. I can accept. Actually, who was their tank last time? No, Garage was also acceptable. You had the chance to fully take your opponent's draft, and you didn't do it. Don't you guys live for the memes running wild? I don't understand.
Ready to roll out.
And that happened. What is Sergeant Hammer into a Sylvanas? Into a Zeratul? This is a very strange pick, and I'm not sure I like it. I feel like they're just going. Sergeant Hammer's just going to get crushed by Zeratul. Once Zeratul, like, I mean, you can do a lot before Zeratul hits his power spike, sure, but. Regardless, we get into the game. I'm finished making funny faces. Alright, we are into the game. Let me zoom out just slightly. Coming in on the side of Running Wild, we have the Regency of Rebellion. There we go. I always have to think for a second because I'm not quick on my feet. We have Kairu playing the Sylvanas, Full on Grits on the Mei, D10 is playing that Zeratul. Mr. Executive is on Karazim, and Elixia is on the Dahaka.
Begins in 10 seconds.
On the other side, Phoenix Rising Zircon, the
4,
Principality of Pain. We do have Storm coming in on Stitches, Cheekies on the Anduin. We're going to have Psycho coming out onto the Grey Daddy. Lawlens is on the Zool, and Sergeant Hammer coming out all the way from 2017, coming in on Solin. Psycho saying to whisper. I will not whisper. I am too hyped for whispers. Whispers are something that I don't know. Alright, here's everyone else kind of moving around. There is a rotation up top. Oh, Zool is being harassed a little bit. Does have his bone armor, not going to be really aggressed upon too terribly much. But Zeratul is not going away. Did you think Zeratul was confused? And there we have the first blood. Zeratul does not care, but the bottom lane, they are outnumbered. They are having to be pushed back. Zeratul is still not leaving? Dahaka is leaving? This game, you guys, I do not understand it. Psycho is moving up. Mob Psycho. Elixia is up here. Meanwhile, we do have the sapper camps being taken, and there is a pause from C10. Pauses, of course, mean I come to this lovely screen in order to prevent you guys from scoping, from peeping at the mini-map. You don't want to be able to see that mini-map, because that would be bad. I'm curious what happened. I can't actually read what all the chat says. Maybe that's good. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I shouldn't. I'll have to go back and watch this. I was just like super plus curious. Super plus curious. So, as we go ahead and look at the current standings, we do go ahead and see that Running Wild is currently in 9th place with 3 points to their overall score, but Phoenix Rising Zircon just above them with 4 points. Neither of them actually within range to make it into the playoffs. The playoffs happened right now, but we are, of course, only in week 5 of 8, and I'm not sure if either of these teams have done their flex matches just yet, so that does not necessarily mean anything. Actually, Zircon is. That is 8th place. The screen changed right as I said that. Whoops, whoops. So, if I go ahead and stop for just a second and look at stats while we wait for the game to unpause. Obviously, nothing really to see. We do have the 1 kill coming out of Running Wild. Oh, it looks like we may be ready. Here we come back into the game right now. As we said, we do have the sapper camps being picked up. Double soaking is going back and forth. This is something that Zool will have an advantage of early on. Although once Dahaka stacks that enhanced agility, he'll be able to have the zoomies like the best cat in the world. But once again, Zeratul just comes in and says, I hate you, Zool. I'm not going to let you feel safe going through the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. My name is Zeratul. I should really be a singer. I would be awful, but you know what? It would be worth. But because of this, they are pushing into the bottom lane. They're like, if Zeratul's not going to be down here, he's just going to deny our double soaking. Roses push in. We literally have the best sieger in the entire game. Crack a boom. Boom. Lowlands is being pretty good at healing. I wonder what does his healing well look like? Doesn't really show me. Oh, nope, still doesn't. Unfortunate. Zircon has come down to the bottom. Psycho takes a bit of damage, has to fall back. A lot of damage onto that tank. The tank does get pulled out, and his plot game is strong. I actually didn't know what that would sound like. I didn't care. And we do have the first objective coming up. Obviously, neither team having taken an opponent structure yet. Opposing structure, that's what we mean to say.
Claim the altars in my name.
Nice body blocking. Storm coming in, trying to stop this. Storm does manage to stop it, but taking a huge amount of damage. And we do have Stitches going down. Good. I was like, if they actually prevent this from going through, I'm going to be insane. So we do go and have the initial advantage over for Running Wild.
From me. Your powers will be like all the others.
Here's everyone else kind of moving back and forth, waiting to be able to move into this. About a half-level lead coming out of the side of Running Wild, primarily because of this like abuse they've been doing to Zul, not letting him double soak effectively. And yeah, look at how Zul's having to rotate. Like, this is giving him the experience, which is what he needs. Zircon comes in, but realizes that's all four of them. Says, I can't really move into this. I'll go ahead and go over here and start on the camp. Swiftly swipe. Now Lowlands moves down. Are they looking for an invade? They should be. But yet they're not. And that is picked up. Here's everyone coming into the bottom lane. The sappers are in front, so that will be an easier clear. But now they're both up into the front line. Zircon coming in from behind, goes ahead and gets onto Psycho for just a second. A lot of damage coming through, and Psycho does go down. The Wolfman is no longer jacked. Because Wolfman Jack is a thing. The best jokes are what you have to explain. I don't know what you're talking about. That little bit of a throaty giggle does show us that the Headless Horseman is onto the map. That is, he is worth 4 shots if you can go ahead and pick him up by picking him off.
The time is now, heroes.
He doesn't have a head. Completely ignore that. I don't know what you're talking about. That's clearly something else.
This realm will be mine, and mine alone.
Once again, this is picked up on the side of Running Wild. They do have a definite advantage, at least in this current phase of the game. But the thing is, all it is core health. It's not any structure damage. It's not like positional advantage. Here's everyone else coming and moving on in. There is all of the damage coming through. Blind comes down and starts to hammer. Zircon takes a good chunk of damage, and Psycho trying to get through, but does get pulled out by Anduin. There is full-on Grits getting pulled back at a lot of damage, but drops a great positional Snowblind, Blizzard, whatever his name that ability is. Can you tell I don't know the name? Level 10s are picked up for Running Wild. We do have Might of the Nerazim on the Zeratul, Adaption for the Dahaka, Wailing Arrow, not Mind Control for the Sylvanas, Avalanche on that Mrs. May, and Karazim is unconvinced. Karazim is clearly too busy riding his Chimera around, his Sphinx. On the other side, we do go and have Ult now picked up. Light Bomb on the end of it. Skeletal Mages, Gorge, go for the throat, and Napalm Strike. Finally, we do have Divine Palm coming out of the Karazim. Once again, sappers are being picked up for both sides, and we do have a single altar. Altar is up. No one's actually going for it right now. It's sad. I think they could have actually channeled that before their opponents got here, but now Full-on Grits is full-on out of position. Anduin uses the pull. He's going to come out and immediately get light bombed. And May goes down. Goes down like a sack of potatoes, but we have a counter kill onto Zul. Very low health on Kairu. Elixir trying to screen for them. Does go and go underground in order to heal up real quick. It is still a 4-on-4, and they are missing the tank on the side of Running Wild, the offlaner. So no Poison Nova coming out to do just all of the damage. Definitely seems like an advantage coming out of the side of Phoenix Rising. Nice Unstoppable to prevent that. Dahaka goes underground. Here's the full engage. Zeratul just trying to get everyone, but does not do so. Zeratul goes down. Psycho very, very, very low. Mr. Executive does get caught in a bone prison because Zul's back on the fight. There's the Divine Palm, saves Mr. Executive. No one saves Sergeant Hammer. Sergeant Hammer does go down. There is a nice light bomb. Does catch Mr. Executive to prevent them from going out. There is the Blizzard coming out, and there is the Freeze. Lowlands goes down, and there is the Retreat. We do have Phoenix Rising getting out of the area, and 4 more shots go to the side of Running Wild. Taka does go down. It looks like Fallen Grits may be in trouble again. 4 kills, 2-6, still advantage for Running Wild, and core health is a full 50% higher for Running Wild, 36 to 24. And that's what you like to see. So with that being said, we do go ahead and have Storm pushing forward. They do have a numbers advantage for a little bit, but it looks like they're not going to try and push in with that. Running Wild does have a talent tier advantage for about 3 seconds. Okay, about 1 second. Once again, the Sappers are coming out, but Mei is again. This is the combo. Oh, Mei actually gets the D off though. That is kind of critical, and manages to avalanche Stitches out of position. Goes ahead and walks away. They do go ahead and get rid of the avalanche, but in exchange, they do use up both Gorge and Light Bomb. Now, avalanche does have a longer cooldown, but still 2 ults for 1. I do think that's an advantage for Running Wild. Double altar phase coming up. No one is down.
Be swift, heroes. Do not.
Does not look like either team is actually interested in contesting this. They're having a somewhat random fight in the middle.
Enough of this charade. Bring down the Gravekeeper's core.
You're losing your touch.
Ironically, I was about to say that Running Wild no longer has 50% more core health than their opponents. Actually, the way math works, they actually have more than that. Because 50% more than 20 is 30. Caster math! I am the girl that does caster math. Does look like they decided to push in. This is a weird time to push in, honestly, because they don't really have an advantage from anywhere. I guess Dahaka and Zeratul are both missing, so in that case they do. Psycho goes down to... Oh, the Wailing Arrow picks that off. We do go ahead and have Greymane goes down. More critically, Greymane goes down and does lose. Several stacks off of Wise and Duelist is down to 5. However, Dahaka gets eaten. You can tongue, but I can stomach. This Light Bomb combo timing is not the absolute best it could be. Like, it's not bad, but there is, oh, fantastic pull out. There is a Divine Palm. Alexis is going to still be alive, at least for the time being. They are chasing them around. Full Grits trying to stop this. There is a great 2-person avalanche, but still, we do have the Siege Tank does kill the dinosaur. And even though I wondered when they woke up this morning who would win, the bottom military complex or Jurassic Park, the bottom military complex would win. That joke would have been funnier if I didn't like screw up while I was trying to say it. A lot of pressure down below. They are looking to push in and get this, and it looks like they will get it. Their opponents are actually more interested in getting a pair of shots up top.
Gravekeeper. Red team has destroyed a fort.
Here comes the rotation up for the rest of the red team.
The extent of my power.
Alright, Dahaka comes up, Logan takes a lot of damage, is going to be going out right as Psycho gets into the battle. However, once again, we do have the Gorge combo, and once again, a Burrow managed to get out in just in time. Raymain does go down. So we do have sappers going across the bottom. No one is opposing these, and they are right here, ready to go over that line. They're trying to move in. Will they be here in time? That is the question. It is close. It looks like Kairu will manage to get here just in the nick of time. And the sappers do turn. They are going to manage to just barely stop it and prevent this damage. 16 to 23 in terms of the damage coming out. We do have a 1.5 level lead on the side of Running Wild right now. They are at 18.5 versus 17. Oh, this looks unfortunate for Zeratul. And Zeratul does have a blink. It does manage to blink. Man, this is the thing, like, this combo is good, but every single person they manage to get it in has some way to avoid the light bomb. Blink out, or a burrow underground, or a, ice prison. Ironically, Sylvanas could not get out of it. Kerosene might be able to jump to someone, but it'd be hard. Altars are coming up. It will be a double altar phase. Meanwhile, it looks like up top we have Lulling in a little bit of trouble. He's being harassed down. Does not survive. Zeratul goes in and says, I am the master of shadow. You may be the master of death. Does get pulled back. Zeratul is coming in order to help with this. Running Wild is running wild right now, but there is a two-person light bomb. Psycho goes down. We do have the Divine Palm. Psycho trying to get out. Rayman is being hunted by Dahaka, except not really. Dahaka got distracted.
Your powers will be rigged, like all the others. The altar is
Down to 8 health on the core of Phoenix Rising. There was the D that came out from Cheekies, but was not successful. And we do have a full push in. They are trying to convert this. They are down to only 8 shots left to go. This is definitely an advantage for Running Wild, and a definitely sign that we may be seeing game number 3.
Blue team has destroyed a fort.
They are standing back here, trying to make sure they take this back whenever they can. Of course, their opponents, to no one's surprise, does go in and pick up the boss. That will lower their core to 4 and put them at death's door. The next objective, they just have to get one of the 2 altars. Taking this back does at least take the sappers off the map as a damage condition, but it does not actually change the current map, because with the double altar phase, they need to actually take out the enemy team. They have to get both of these altars or they are out of the game, unless they can somehow take a structure real quick. I don't know how they would do that.
Rise again.
Here's Storm scouting out the opponents. Does go ahead and catch full-on grits. Pulls them back into the rest of the team. The rest of the team is not 100% there. There is the Avalanche. Does catch just the grenade. Full-on grits down to about 40% health. Does go ahead and boop the entire team back apart. Meanwhile, Zool is over here trying to prevent this from being turned in. Realizes this is, but unfortunately Zool goes down. Only the skeletal minion is still here. They're trying to keep this alive, but Kairu is channeling it. Psycho trying to move over here. Great body box to move the rest of the team, and Kairu does channel it. There is the shot, and we have game number 2 going to Running Wild. Congratulations to them. We are going to see game number 3 in about 3 seconds. with that, looking at the stats at the end of the game, we do go ahead and have, that is not what I want to do. In terms of the healing output, we do have Karazim surprisingly doing amazing amounts of healing. I never think of Karazim as that much of a healer, but I guess Mr. Executive just keeps showing me up. Actually, no, last game it was the Ana that showed me up. Never mind. But yeah, doing 84,000 healing across the board. In terms of the damage, Sergeant Hammer proving her worth in a big way. 72,000 damage coming out of the Bama the Hammer. Zircon coming in second, and then Greymane number 3. Greymane is not a hero you expect to see in the number 3 spot when it comes to hero damage. Turns out so very even between the two of them, 21,000 to 20,000. Hardly worth a difference. And we will see you guys in game number 3. 1 second. Alright guys, we are going into game number 3 on Sky Temple, the newest map. That's also the map from 2 seasons ago, but it was not here last season, so it counts as new. That's the way it works. First of all, before we get into this, I do have to give you some somewhat unfortunate news. It's fortunate and it's also unfortunate. I have a cast in 11 minutes. Obviously, I do not expect this game to be done within 11 minutes, but that does mean once we get to the end of it, I will not be able to do a winner's interview. Sorry, I want to try and squeeze one in, but they literally spent 10 minutes between games 2 and 3. So I'm like, it's not fair to the other team to keep them waiting whenever we waste this much time between games. The games are usually like 25 minutes long. So you can usually pretty reliably get 3 of them done within an hour and a half period, but that kind of depends on not dilly-dallying between the games, and we have definitely done some dilly and we've done some dallying. So regardless, we'll get into this game. We will cast the entire thing. I'm not going to just like cut out 10 minutes in. That would be rude. But yep. That is kind of what we're looking at. We're going Sky Temple. Falset is the first band. This is another map where globals are incredibly important. It is, I believe, the largest map in the map pool. Either the largest or the second. I'm not sure if it or Cursed Hollow actually like wins out, but it's definitely one of those two. You have Junkrat continue. Junkrat is just a character that Phoenix Rising Zircon has no interest in. They do not want to see it, they don't want to smell it, they don't want to taste it, they want nothing to do with the character. I mean, that's another thing that's a problem, because these are too close together, and I was rushing, so I keep not going to get any water. I need water. After game 1 of the next series, I'm going to go get a drink. I don't even care. You may end up having to watch a draft with no commentary. I will stiletto run my way upstairs, which is dangerous. Don't do that. But regardless, we have Sylvanas being banned out. They do not want to see another example of what happened last time. And then Stuk, still exact same bans from Running Wild. Although, honestly, after what we saw last time, they figured out the way their opponents like to play and figured out how to play around it. They got a lot of heroes that do not fall into the string combos. Brightwing continue to be Cheeky's first pick, and honestly, Brightwing, no complaints about that character for sure. Elixio says change is upon us while taking the exact same pick they did last time. I don't think that's how change works, Dahaka. Just saying. I love the Dahaka pink skin though. Pink, it's my new expression.
Ilneus will rise again.
And Kairu coming in on Grey Daddy. The Battle of the Grey Maids continue, this time going back over to the side of Running Wild. Honestly, if you needed a mascot for a team named Running Wild, and you didn't have the one they've already got, I would say that Grey Maid is a pretty decent one to use. Oh, we're going back to the Gary. We did not use Gary in game 2, even though he was available. I do think Garrosh was a great combo initiator, and Brightwing can give him a little bit of a boost of speed. Psycho going in with Cassandra. That's her full name if you didn't know, Cassia Cassandra. Her parents were very uncreative. Go ahead and ban out. We still do not have an offlaner, so they do get rid of Leoric. I honestly don't know what they're thinking. I mean, Leoric can double soak very effectively. Did recently get a couple of quality of life improvements to help them out quite a bit. Yes, I said quite a bit 3 times. You want to fight me? You'll lose. You might ask, Raka, why are you putting on gloves when you don't have to take them off in 2 seconds? And the answer is, shut up! And we're being banned out because they know that Mr. Executive does really like the lad. I also love how I took my gloves off before, after game 1, and now I'm putting on a different set of gloves. I have an entire accessories drawer, you guys.
Zeta, guide my path.
Executive is going back into Karazim, something I do not think that Phoenix Rising is surprised about. And then the full-on Grits coming out with that Murden. Definitely not a tank we see very much. Very in the vein of Sergeant Hammer. Very, very 2017.
I serve.
Do your worst.
Ooh, Urel, I like it. And then we do have the Zeratul coming back in. One more time. So, deciding not to go with Sergeant Hammer this time, I wonder why. That was such a weird decision. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to see like some hype stuff coming out of it.
For the Nexus.
But and then we do have Orphea. Interesting. So Orphea I feel like Zeratul is just going to eat Orphea, but we'll have to find out. Alright, here we go into the actual game. I need to take my gloves off so I can go boop, boop, and get your prediction started. I do love Urel. I tried to learn the Goat Lady for the longest time. I just could not do it. I definitely wanted to, but it was not within my power. But we're coming into the game. Coming in on the side of the Cyan, we do have Running Wild. The
If you wish to live, that is.
what is a W name for a group of people? The Wildebeests of Revel. I don't know. I need to think of these before I get to them. But regardless, we have Full-on Grits playing the Murden, Cairo on the Orphea, Mr. Executive playing that Karazim. C10 is on the Dahaka, I think. No, C10 is on Greymane. Elixia is on the Dahaka. On the other side of the battlefield, we do have Psycho coming across on the Cassia. We do have Lawlins on the Urel. I did not recognize that skin for a second. Storm is playing Garrosh. Cheekies is on the Brightwing. And who did I miss? Solian is on Zeratul. Looking at our level 1s, we do go ahead and get, again, the enhanced agility coming out of the Haga. I need to stop. We got stuff going on. I can't talk about what's happening at the moment. A lot of damage on the full-on crits. Okay. We do also have the Warbreaker onto Garrosh, and the Thunderstroke already up to 5 stacks. Definitely got some amazing hits from Thunderstroke. Grits takes a good bit of damage, but of course third or second wind will come in. Did not take third wind, did end up taking Dwarf Block. I've got to say, that's kind of a boring name for an ability, Dwarf Block. Not like Skin of Stone or something? Oh, Grits coming in here with the invade. Hello? I see you, Grits. They're going in. There's a lot of swipey swipe coming in. Psycho goes ahead and gets the heal from Brightwing, but the tongue goes up, catches Cheekies. Very, very low health on Elixia. Here's the full fight. We do have Slick in the area. Then we do have a retreat coming in, and they did manage to steal. That is experience advantage for them. So slight advantage for Running Wild, but only very, very slight. Alright, I love that. The Garrosh like, you're gonna go over here, and the Murder's like, no, I'm not. You're not the boss of me. You're not the boss of me now. Show my age, you know what, that's okay. I'm allowed to show my age. My age is awesome. Seriously, when I go into like the farmer, they're like, hey, can I just get my ID? And next to age, it just says awesome. Dahaka is in the middle, going ahead and getting the vision. It's not a vision camp, the vision point. And I'll come up here and slurp up a whole bunch of this experience. No. Does Dahaka get essence from that? Like when they made the change and the experience sticks around for longer, does Dahaka get essence when they pick up experience? I don't believe so. Oh, interesting. Took takedowns, grant more essence, not the much more reliable minion one. And here's a big push. They're just coming in the top lane. Obviously, this is so that when they control the top temple, they get a lot more. And there's a huge amount of damage. Alexia does have to fall back. Almost dead. Got down to sub 100, but did manage to survive. Dahaka had to hearth back home in order to heal, but the thing to remember, of course, is that Dahaka does indeed have the burrow, so Boom is right back here. He's coming out. He wants the world to know. Alright, so we do go ahead and everything kind of moving through. There is the big old swishy swoosh. This is currently being occupied by Phoenix fighting Zircon. My brain keeps wanting to spell Zircon with an X in my head, and that's Xanthite. Looks like there's a retreat coming in. We are up to 28 stacks of Thunderstroke. That means it's going to be doing an extra 42 damage per hit. If I can do math, which I probably can't. Alright. The counter invade. Although we do have Zircon being taken out by Orphea. First actual kill of the game. We've had a lot of brawling, a lot of action. But it does look like we've got running wild. They're coming in. They're trying to go forward. A lot of the jumpies. We've got leaps. We got leaps for days. Lawlins is taking a lot of damage. This is Yrel, but Yrel does not have her level 10 yet. Cannot completely negate all of the damage. Is going away. Man, this Greymane is like, I am hungry for this. Hungry like the wolf, quite literally. However, there is Brightwing. Brightwing going to the backline. That may be a mistake. Is trying to fly northward. It looks like they will actually survive. Lawlins, you beast! There is no reason that you should survive that. I demand a recount. Isn't that something I like to see? So with that being said, we do go ahead and have everyone kind of moving through. The actual camp that was the focal point of that finally gets picked up. Yrel does take back the vision camp. Mullins wants to know what's going on. We have Dahaka and Greymane up top. Yrel's gotta be having flashbacks just seeing that Greymane.
Light of the sun grows within the temples. Soon they shall bask in my glory.
Alright, we do have an advantage on this camp. Now, keep in mind that you definitely want this camp if you are running wild. You have already taken out the front wall of your opponent, so this camp will take keep. Fort will take fort. They're moving down a contest, but the shots are already draining. Alright, they are pushing off. A lot of damage onto Storm. Storm goes ahead and gets the throw onto Greymane, and there's the taunt, and there's the death. That was not the engagement they were looking for. Solon comes in, but unlike Greymane, Solon has a very, very good escape if he gets collapsed upon, and is falling back. There is the Valkyrie. Valkyrie goes ahead and pulls the Orphea into an area she does not want to be. A lot of damage, a lot of stabby stabs, and Kairu goes down. Zeratul goes ahead. Brightwing comes in. It is a 5 versus 3 at this point. No, 4 versus 3. Yrel is not down here. Never mind. I lied to you all. Urael is going to go ahead and take the mercenary camp up top while this is going on. Zeratul is moving up in order to harass Murden. Not really the person you want to harass if you're Zeratul. Oh, do they know? Do they know? Alright, here's a lot of damage coming in. This is a full engagement. This is beyond. Oh, great Eternal Feast. There is the absorption, but you're absorbing, but you can't stay there forever. It does leap out of there, and the mercenary camp is taken by Running Wild. There is Solian. Solian goes ahead and gets collapsed on. They are within the protective barrier, and there goes the first keep of the game. Fort, god dang it, I know the difference, I promise. This one is up with 2,500. It's still alive. The 9 Fingers Fort. I love how aggressively they're playing this, because obviously every structure you take down is one less structure that will be absorbing shots whenever you take a temple. Well, let's take some good bit of damage. There is the polymorph. There is the, and that's gonna be a dead dino. Goodbye, sweet Brit. Like the 8th time this cast that has happened to me. Healers, stop being so good. Alright, there is Greyman going in for the kill. Going in for the kill. Going in for the kill. Alright, that actually ended up with me only 1 kill. I really thought I was going to see a pop. I thought it was going to be 4th of July up here in this cast, but not so much. However, once again, I do not think these teams take a chance on their own side of the map. They only take their opponents. And we do going to have a garage pop. Has crush support. They are looking at being able to move in here.
My magic flows through the temples. Guardians, not yet.
All right. It does look like Running Wild is going ahead and occupying this place.
Has crushed.
1 second. Getting a lot of pings, probably by the people being like, "Hey, where are you?"
Red team destroyed a fort.
So we do go ahead and have more and more forts being taken down. We have all forts in the game almost gone. I do think Zeratul will secure this last one. No, I lied to you all again. It has 300 health left. Tabomer, bitch, I am famous.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
Alright, so where I thought that Running Wild was having a great advantage, and then I went to check my messages because I had like 5 of them. In that time, it looks like we've had a complete turnaround coming from Phoenix Rising.
My temple's power has been expended.
Alright. Looks like all of the keep walls. Okay, that one is bruised for sure. That one's still firm. This one is about the same as the one on the opposite side. Firm and firm.
Hero slain.
Less firm is Garage's hit pool. And that is going to trip Running Wild. They said they don't have a tank. They can't do anything about it. We're going to go ahead and move in to get boss. Make sure that the bottom wall is not nearly as secure as it is right now. There's going to be a counter camp coming on the other side. They say, get this before a freaking Running Wild come up and take it from us. And they were on their way. Alright, we're able to go ahead and have the Moonwell being taken out. Garage misses the throw, unfortunately, and there is a full retreat coming out outside of Burning Wild. Almost a full level up, just on the very edge of 18. There is even talent tiers, however, and no one's actually stopping this camp from moving it. It does look like Dahaka is moving in that direction. Brightwing needs to be careful, though. Okay, thankfully the minion wave does let Brightwing understand the position that they're in. Poor cheekies. Oh, maybe not poor cheekies, never mind. Amazing cheekies. Tall, attractive cheekies. Cheekies that all the other Brightwings want to be with. Did not retreat, stayed around in order to participate in the gank, and Greymane goes down. However, this does mean that Running Wild will get the bottom shrine, and the bottom shrine is going straight into the keep because that is the one that the boss took out the wall in the Moonwell for. I'm surprised they're not. I guess it's because they don't have. Okay, yeah, they don't have Greymane, so they have Dahaka go up top in order to threaten this. Nice little team back and forth. So you could come down and join at the bottom, but they can't come up and join you.
The temple's magic subsides. Find something else to fight over.
Alright, the next fight, right now, ironically, Burning Wild really wants to avoid a fight if they can, because they are almost to level 20, so they don't want to give up a fight before they get that advantage. Granted, because they are being so defensive, their opponents are actually out-soaking them. Revan does move up in order to get all this lovely, lovely, yummy experience. Nom 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 nom. Do you guys not nom when you get experience? Because you should. Alright, and level 20 is obtained. This does give them an advantage. Now they want to fight, and obediently, we do have a retreat coming from the side of Phoenix Rising. They realize they no longer have the advantage. Their opponents will now be in an aggressive stance. Obviously, full stealth right here, so it does not know that's happening.
The light of the sun grows within the temples. Soon they shall bask in.
Dahaka actually moves around the invisible Zircon, and Zircon's like, I am out of here. They will figure that out for sure.
Has destroyed a fort.
So that does mean the siege camps, ironically, are less necessary now. They don't have a wave protecting them, so they'll just walk up and get killed.
Yes, my magic flows through.
Rumi just walks up here, takes out the catapult, and moves on.
Guardians, do not let these mortals approach them.
We do have this being occupied by Zircon right now. They go ahead and continue pushing pressure on the bottom lane, which makes sense. That first wave of siege giants won't do anything, but the second one will actually threaten core. Invisible Friends is taken by the Brightwing. Did go to Storm into position. Throw. There is Lullens going in. Great. Almost a two-person Valkyrie. We do have Orca going down. Orca does get out the Eternal Feast at the last second. Gets a lot of free hits from it. However, no actual kills, and they do have a disadvantage at the moment. Invisible Friends comes out, heals everyone back up to full, and they are ready to move back in. Oh, wow, shut my mouth. It's a 4-on-4. I completely missed that the kill happened. It looks like I'm about to miss another one because Cheekies is very low. Never mind, Cheekies is dead. You no longer low. Different state of being. We do have Unstoppable coming out. It looks like Yrel is going to be the next one to go. Storm looking not too healthy. Free escort to the Hall of Storms, courtesy of Running Wild.
The light fades from my temples.
And of course, they're getting here right as the Siege Giants show up. Mr. Executive looking not very, very healthy at the moment, down to about 200. Does go ahead and miss that. Nice haymaker. Gets, get out of here, Psycho. We don't like you. Down to 30%. We do have the Sea Giants not quite having to deal with the fight, but it does not matter. We do have the core goes down, and Running Wild ends up getting game number 2. Again, sorry, I cannot do an interview. We are already 15 minutes late for our next cast, so congratulations to them. Very, very proud of you. I will be back up in like a minute for Ice Crown Citadel Knights versus another Phoenix Rising team, Phoenix Rising Sapphire. Congratulations to our players, and I will see you guys in 2 seconds. There are the talents. Look at them. Copy and paste. Great. Cool.